So how many of you are in high school or remember high school and that feeling of being left out? You're walking down the hall and you're hearing whispering and you get up to the locker and the locker door slams. They look right at you and walk the other way. The cool kids are having a party and you don't get an invite. Or I have my second child and I'm working half-time making not a lot of money compared to what I made before. And nobody wants to talk to me at the party because I have nothing to say. I am decidedly in the out group. Now, how does this feel to be in this out group? Y'all know really well how it feels. Not very good. That pit of your stomach. The heaviness. The weight on your shoulder. And what's interesting about this is that when we think about who's in the in group and who's in the out group, it's all category based. So, gender, race, socioeconomic group, education, you name it, it's a category. Maybe it's style, you're an extrovert. You're gregarious. You're thoughtful and controlled. The problem is that all of these are traits. And you can't do much with traits. You can do a little bit with traits, but not a lot. And we make so many decisions about who's in the in group and who's in the out group based on these traits. And we like people who have traits who are like us. So we like somebody and we put them on our team. We golf with somebody and we put them on our leadership team. It's really comfortable and really not a lot of work. But the problem is that it creates a lot of myopia, a lot of groupthink. Now, when you think about this shows up in our organization. So 45% of white women are entering the professional workforce. Just about a quarter are making it to senior leadership. Women of color, less than 20% enter into the professional workforce and barely a blip in senior leadership. White men are about a third entering into professional, but almost 2/3 at the executive level. Our organizations reflect our in and out grouping. Now, when you think about this, so one of my friends, her daughter is a sophomore or junior, engineer at a big university. So during middle school and high school, this is what she heard. Her guidance counselors telling her, go into bio, go into medicine, don't go into engineering. There are too many boys in engineering. The message was loud and clear, stay out. And this isn't my generation. She's a sophomore or junior in college. This is happening now. Now, this is all based on rules. Categories. Follow the rules, girlfriend. Follow the rules, boyfriend. Follow the rules, friend. Because that's the only way you can be in the in group, is by following the rules. So girls, I have another friend whose daughter didn't get into the college that she wanted. Now, she had great SATs, she had great GPA, she volunteered. But you know what? She hadn't yet saved the world because good God, what's she been doing with her life? She was only 17. Really? But that's what the rules say. And I was reading some stuff on social media, how the young men are buffing themselves up and putting it on social media. Look how strong I am. And how many people do you see on social media that have their face broken out? Or don't look good in their clothes? Or a messy house? Not too many. And now we have the metaverse. So in the metaverse, we can actually manipulate our bodies. We can get rid of all of our imperfections. And we can now buy designer clothes on the metaverse. All in the interest of perfection. Now, when you think about this, it's ancient. This is human. When we were evolving back in the Stone Age, To be in the out group meant death. If your tribe threw you out, you would not survive. So this feeling, these anxiety, all that stuff is visceral. It's part of who we are as humans. Maybe some of you saw this documentary on these monkeys in Japan who in the wintertime go into these hot springs, and the ones that are in the in-group, oh, it's snowing and they're so warm in their hot tub, their natural hot spring. And the ones that are in the out-group are shivering, huddled together. And the minute they put their foot into the hot spring, boom, they get knocked out. Because here's the thing about the in and the out group. In order to be in the in group, you have to have an out group. It's definitional. And once you're in the in group, you do not want at all to be in that out group. So you work twice as hard to stay in the in group. Now, this shows up in a lot of ways as binary. I'm showing you one binary representation, male, female. So the rules are, I am a man, an ideal man, and I am an ideal woman. And I'm going to push and label and judge everybody who doesn't fit that binary ideal. But we binary everything. Black, white, rich, poor, smart, dumb. Today I was just reading about breastfeeding and formula. Binary. You're in or you're out. And so for women, in our research, in working qualitatively with over 1,000 women, several thousand women, we find these big rules of you must do it all and you must do it perfect. So if I got a B on a test, oh my God, I am not going to be, oh my God, I'm not smart enough, oh my God. I just got a B on a test. So right now, how are you feeling? I bet you're all ready to go out and dance and sing, enjoy. You're probably feeling like absolute crap. And this is the life that we live, right? We live in these in and out groups, and we're constantly trying to put ourselves in it. But I'm going to tell you that there's a way out. And the way out is by becoming conscious of the rules. Listen, observe. Be a scientist on this. And start listening, and then when we end, go out in the hall and start listening to the rules that people say. Listen to when our friend says, I got a B on my test. Listen to when somebody says, you're not breastfeeding. Oh, you could say, oh my God, there's a rule. You can listen to all the different ways that people box us in. Because now what you're doing by listening, by observing, you are creating a space between you and the rule. Now you can see what was hidden. You can see the rule. And once you see the rule, you can then reflect. Do I want to follow that rule? Does that rule actually, is that really true? Does it really matter? And then once you reflect and you say, this doesn't really work for me, you do what we call reframing. You literally change the words that you use. You change the way you think. And by changing the words, you create a different reality, a different way of looking at these rules. So let's think about this. For women, instead of do it all, we can be just do what needs to be done. Instead of perfection, we can be good enough as we are. That be, it's okay. I'm going to be okay. Let's look at that college engineer and how she might reframe all of the things that were said to her to try to keep her out. Now, what I want you to notice is this. Think about before it was like, there's too many men, stay out. Now, there's not enough women, jump in. Now it's motivating. Oh my God, I'm going to be part of the change. There's too many men in technology, I'm going to stay out. No, there's not enough women, and the world is being defined by technology. Let's jump in with both feet. And then I'm excited, I'm motivated. There's space, and I can be who I am. And the cool thing about this reframe is you can do it anywhere. You can do it in the middle of a meeting when somebody says, hey, take some notes. I'm like, no, I'm not going to take any notes. You can do it at a party when somebody doesn't want to talk to you. And you say, hey, how are you? Tell me about you. You can do it when your friend says she got a B. And you say, you know what? You're still good enough and you're still my friend. You can reframe anywhere. And when we reframe, we open up possibility. And instead of the constriction of the in and out, we can actually be open. We can be creative with our solutions. We can be an N of one. And we can be ourselves. Thank you.